This video is on equations with variables on both sides. I also have another video similar to this one that's more simplistic. It's called Solve an Equation Using 3 Steps. The 3 steps in that other video that I talk about are simplify, variable on one side, and variable by itself. To simplify means you do all the distributive property and combine all the like terms on each side of the equation first. Once both sides are simplified, then you get the variable on one side, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. Then you get the variable by itself. So we will start with this one. Step 1, simplify. Both sides are already in simplest form. I don't have any distributive property or like terms on this side or this side, so step 1 is taken care of. Step 2, get the variable on one side. Now, I get to choose which side I want to put it on. I could subtract 7n from both sides to make it go away here, but that would give me negative 11n on the right. Or I could get rid of this negative 4n by adding 4n to both sides. 7 plus 4 would give me positive 11n on the left. On this particular problem, it really doesn't matter, but sometimes it saves time by always putting it on the side that results in a positive answer. So I've just gotten in the habit of doing that. So I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to do that by adding 4n to both sides. Negative 4n and positive 4n goes away and leaves me with 11n. Now, some people solve equations, they go ahead and move this 12 over here and they show their work here and here. And that's okay, but over the years I found people prefer to break it into 2 steps where they bring down the plus 12 and they bring down the positive 78. Now I have a 2-step equation. My 2 steps are get rid of divided by, or get rid of times 11 by dividing and get rid of plus 12 by subtracting. We always do addition and subtraction first when we're solving equations because we work our way up the GMDOS. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. That leaves me with 11n on the left. And 8 minus 2 is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. To get rid of times 11, I divide both sides by 11. And my answer is n equals 6. All right, on this one. And sometimes people like to separate their equations, sometimes they don't. I'll try to mix it up to show you both ways. Here, the left side is not in simplest form. I have parentheses, I have distributive property. Can't do anything inside parentheses, but I can distribute this 5. 5 times n is 5n. 5 times 8 is positive 40. Bring down the minus 7, bring down the equal sign. And on the right side, it's already in simplest form, so I'll bring down the 103. The left side is not simplified. I got rid of the distributive property, but I have like terms. My 2 constants, positive 40 and negative 7, are like terms, so I've got to do that. Next, 40 minus 7 is 33. Now, both sides are in simplest form, so I'm ready for step 2. Step 2 is get the variable on one side. It already is, so I don't have to do step 2 in this one. And step 3 is get the variable by itself. Always get rid of addition and subtraction first because we work up the GMDOS. So 33 minus 33 goes away, leaves me with 5n equals 70. To get rid of times 5, I divide by 5. And that leaves me with n equals 14. All right. Now, if you would like to pause the video and try it yourself and then have me go over it, be a good time to do that. On this equation, both sides have some work to do to simplify. The right side, 3 times 2n is 6n. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. The left side, 6 times 3n is 18n. 6 times 1 is 6. And I need to bring down this negative 30. The right side is in simplest form. The left side is not because I have 2 like terms, 6 and negative 30. So bring down the 18n. 6 plus negative 30 is negative 24. This comes down. Okay, step 1, simplify. I've done. Both sides are in simplest form. There's no distributive property. There's no like terms. Now I'm ready to get the variable on one side. I could subtract 18n from both sides, but I like to put it on the side that results in a positive, so I'm going to subtract 6n from both sides. 18n minus 6n is 12n. Bring down minus 24 equals negative 12. To get rid of minus 24, you plus 24 to both sides. I'm going to run out of room. That's going to leave me with 12n equals 12. Divide both sides by 12. And I'm out of room, but that would give me n equals positive 1. Let's look at another. Here, I have a grouping within a grouping. In order of operations, the first step is to do everything within the grouping. And if you have a grouping within the grouping, you do your innermost grouping first. Well, my innermost grouping has n plus 5. Those are not like terms. I can't do anything in there. So now I'm just working within this big grouping, which are brackets. And within that grouping, the first thing I need to do is distribute this negative 4. Negative 4 times n is negative 4n. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. I'm going to bring down this 2n, bring down my brackets. I could change them to parentheses. It doesn't matter. Bring down that 25 and bring down that distributor, that 5. Okay, inside the brackets, I'm not done. I have like terms. 2n plus negative 4n is negative 2n. We'll change them to parentheses now. Bring everything else down. Now everything inside that grouping is done. So I expand out to everything on the left side. And I have to distribute this 5 to all the terms in parentheses. There are two terms. 5 times negative 2n is negative 10n. 5 times negative 20 is negative 100. And the right side is already simplified. Okay, so finally, both sides are simplified. The variable is already on one side, so I'm ready for step 3, variable by itself. To get rid of minus 100, I plus 100 to both sides. Leaves me with negative 10n equals 125. To get rid of times negative 10, I divide by negative 10. And my answer is negative 12.5 or negative 12.5. All right, number 5. Again, if you want to pause the video and try it on your own, you can. On the left side, within this grouping, I have like terms. 2n minus 1n is 1n. Bring everything else down. Now I'm going to distribute. 2 times n is 2n. 2 times 4 is 4. Bring down that plus 2. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 4 plus 2 is 6, so I have 2n plus 6. On the right side, when I simplify, I have like terms. 2n plus 1n is 3n. Step 1, simplify, done. Step 2, variable on one side. I can put it on either side, but I'm going to move it over here because I want my answer to be positive. And on this one, it's actually going to save us work by making it positive. That goes out, leaves me with 6 equals n, or n equals 6. If I had to put it on the left side this time, it would have caused me some extra work. The answer is 6. And number 6. Whoops. On the left side, 3 times 3n is 9n. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 2 times 3n is 6n. 2 times 3 is 6. Put it on the side that results in a positive. So I'm going to move it to the left side by subtracting 6n from both sides. Now I'm going to get it by itself. To get rid of minus 6, I plus 6 to both sides. It gives me 3n equals 12. To get rid of times 3, I divide by 3. And your answer is 4. I want to go back to number 5 because I misspoke. I said put the n on the side that results in a positive. Actually, There's a different rule we need to look at on this one. When you have a variable on both sides, but you have a constant only on one side, always move that variable away from that constant. That's why we subtract 2n from both sides and get left with 6 equals n. Let me show you what would happen if I had not done that. If I had subtracted 3n from both sides, I would get negative n plus 6 equals 0, and I would have 2 more steps to do. Subtract 6 from both sides, then divide both sides by -1. 2 extra steps for no reason. So again, if you've got a variable on both sides and a constant only on one side, always move the variable to the opposite side away from that constant. And that is our video on equations with variables on both sides. Thank you.